Greetings from Ohio. I'm B. Smitty,
I'm Jesse Coble-Smith.
and today we're talking about 25th Hour. It is directed by Spike Lee and stars Edward Norton, Barry Pepper, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Rosario Dawson. It was released in 2002. If I actually I don't quite do the research on this fully, but was this the first movie filmed in New York after 9/11?
Yeah, well, it was the very first movie filmed right after, the 9/11 tragedy. So it's got, it's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty heavy scenes for that, especially directly, after, or soon after, I should say.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely, made a point to show, how strong New York was in that movie.
Yeah.
After
being a Spike Lee joint, it's he's all about New York.
Yeah.
So it's pretty common that he'd do something like that.
Yeah, that one scene in the Barry Pepper's apartment and with Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. It's a great scene. It lasts just over 5 minutes long too, without a cut.
No cuts.
Yeah.
And it takes. Yeah, I mean that means a lot in movies when there's no cuts. It just shows that those actors are right in. They're in the moment right there, and they're focused, and it's. You gotta have talented actors to do that, and you can't just pick a couple random actors like, oh yeah, what, just let it flow. But yeah, I mean, 25th Hour, about a guy who's it's his last day before he goes into prison for 7 years.
Yep.
So it really just chronicles that character Monty, for that day. And it's a it's a good movie. Nothing flashy about it.
Nope.
It's
straight
just
to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point.
I think that's with the Monty character. I think you really get that sense of how you would feel knowing that it's your last day, before you had to go to prison.
Yeah.
And
I think it just grounds you as a person. Like, he was a tough guy, drug dealer, and then he gets caught, and now he's starting to realize, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, messed it all
I
up.
messed it up. I shouldn't have done this. I have a good woman. I have a decent life. I should have just stopped when I was ahead. But usually when you get in those circumstances,
it's hard.
There's always more money to make.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. Start upgrading everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think too with Barry Pepper, I really think he was a very big part of this movie, even though he wasn't the leading character. I kind of feel, especially during that scene in the apartment, that that apartment scene really laid it all out of friendships and how important they are and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I want to just give a shout out to Barry Pepper. He's probably one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't seen this movie, check it out. Just because of Barry Pepper, and a couple of shout outs for him as far as movies. He's in Saving Private Ryan. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. He did the more recent True Grit movie. He had a small part in. And then if you've seen the miniseries, The Kennedys, I believe it was the HBO, maybe, no, or I don't know.
I'm not too sure what that was.
Maybe it was A&E or something.
Like
but
that. But yeah, he was on that for
he
sure.
played Bobby Kennedy, and it's great performance, just kind of underrated. But yeah, back to that scene. It's mainly talking about Monty called upon his old friends just to hang out with them for that last time before they go away, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, isn't it, Jacob? He's like, we'll see him in 7 years. They'll be okay. You'll get out in 7 years, and everyone's like, you're not gonna see him. You're not gonna be, you're not gonna be buddies with him. It's like, he's gone. It's it. This is the end of Monty.
Yep.
So it was a really cool scene, and it makes you think about friends from that past, and if they move away or something, it's like most chances are they're you're not gonna see.
It's
kind
of just like the thing when you're done with high school and you see your friends from school. Oh yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're at your 10-year anniversary of graduating. And that's the next time you see them.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think that was definitely a huge definitely that was like the turning point of the film where it was really just hard hitting, emotionally.
Well, not only just the acting and the non-cuts, the fact that um, Barry Pepper's character was it Frank? What's his Frankie or whatever you call it. Yeah. So like his apartment's right in front of, right above Ground Zero. Mm-hmm. So they shot the scene, as you're looking at Ground Zero.
Yep.
So it has a pretty good effect.
Big impact overall.
Right.
Yeah. Flink Slattery was his name in the movie.
Right.
And it's I think too with the Monty character is he kind of even forces it a little bit upon himself on the last day, but like you kind of get that sense of like loneliness too.
Yeah.
You're kind of like ignoring everything around you.
It's like he knows that his life as he knows it is gone, and I think it's just him walking the streets is just getting that last breath of freedom, and
mm-hmm.
you really don't want to be bothered. He doesn't want to waste the time just chatting about past stuff. He just wants to kind of be by himself, and
mm-hmm. So what do you think would what's your favorite part of this movie?
Well, I guess my as far as favorite scenes, that Ground Zero scene is
mm-hmm.
Definitely right there, but the climax of the movie is something else. It's if you haven't seen it, if you're watching this podcast, we do spoil the movie.
Yeah.
So
all of these will be spoilers.
Yeah. So, so basically, my favorite scene is when Monty's, approaches Francis,
mm-hmm.
and tells him, you need to make me ugly.
Yeah.
I can't go into prison looking like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Frank's like, like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I just want to beat the hell out of me, and it's, it's that whole scene. It's like, who want to beat up like one of their best friends? It's like, who wants to just pound their face in,
mm-hmm.
So it's just like, mine just antagonize him, getting in his face, and then it takes him socking, Jacob in the face, and then that's when, Frank goes off and just pounds the crap out of him, and just the emotion and the way it's shot. And, and afterwards, how all you hear is just birds chirping and stuff, and you got Monty laid out with his face bashed in, and Frankie is just freaking crying with blood all over his hands.
Mm-hmm.
It was a emotional scene, so that's probably one of my favorites. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd probably say definitely besides the apartment scene, because that's just a big scene in general, is the montage of Monty's dad driving him to prison, and they kind of like talk about how it could be, if he took a different, went out to a different state and kind of just disappeared, opened up his own bar, and that whole like little montage is real cool. It was like
it made you feel that that's what actually happened. That's what they decided not take a different turn and just drive, and
and then it cuts back to him just still back in the car, and just like, it's not gonna happen.
Shitty pipe dreams. It's
it was like giving you that little last drop of hope, like outside of reality, and then Brian Cox that plays his dad did a real good job too. That small part that he had, and in that part you're talking about is just the way it's explained, and have a family, have a boy, name him James. That's a strong name. That scene was awesome. So what would you like to see differently in this film? Any scenes?
It's kind of a broad thing, but I honestly would be happy if they'd recast Anna Paquin. I totally did not like her acting at all. Like, I'm just not a fan of hers. I think she really had to struggle hard to make herself seem like she's an attractive teenage schoolgirl. It just, I think in general, her acting just wasn't very.
Didn't really fit with the rest of them.
It didn't fit with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the same scene with a Philip Seymour Hoffman and Edward Norton, Barry Pepper, you have to step your game up a bit, and it's just hers was pretty amateur in my opinion. So
Yeah.
they maybe could have recasted somebody like that, but I mean that'd probably be my downfall of the movie.
Yeah. I'd probably go with I liked like the flashback scenes. I kind of wish that there was like a little bit more of like the past of like how like their friendships were.
Yeah.
Like it kind of did a little bit with like Naturel.
Yeah.
And that kind of it would have been kind of, it probably would have made the movie a little bit longer doing it this way, but like I think kind of like to space out different parts of the movie to like, because like I feel like there's a lot more flashbacks in the first half than the second half, and maybe that that was just like the the way we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like to kind of like keep that like momentum of like cuts from the past and the future, and they probably Spike Lee probably just definitely wanted you to start feeling like and I'm not even too sure, but maybe that one scene in the apartment was like the line of like, okay, we're not doing the the flashbacks anymore, but
the flashbacks were pretty vague.
Yeah, they were pretty vague.
It's just like,
but that's why I think that's where it would be cool, like to even have the vague ones with Francis,
Sure.
and have one with
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah.
It kind of just would have made it a little bit more like even throughout the cast.
Yeah.
Of like how'd they meet, how'd they do this, but I think that with
they just kind of talked about it. High school buddies.
Yeah, because he talks about how he was selling weed to the his school friends and everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just something like that. But I think it was probably just it probably was just unnecessary in general.
Yeah.
But it kind of would have been cool to kind of have like some type of like, even if it wasn't as so far back, because there was flashbacks with Naturel, obviously like when they got busted and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool to have like a little bit of past things of whatever, instead of just like the very end of the friendships. But it's one of those things, it doesn't even matter that that's not in there. It's hard to like pick little things out in this movie, because it is like when you're watching it, like it is like it's straight to the point.
Yeah.
It's really hard to really pick at it and just
Yeah.
kind of like take things out or whatever. I do like I feel like a lot of some of the scenes had like before GoPros are even available type feel, like the panning, like with like it's like
you're walking with
connected
the,
with them, like I feel like that's kind of like a innovative type.
Yeah.
I'm sure people did it before him, but that's like what, like when I seen that, I felt like that's pretty original.
Yeah.
And I did like those scenes too.
Yep. As far as a Spike Lee movie, it was not in his normal, like, I guess it's not. It wasn't his typical type of movie.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of why I liked it too. It's more of a grittier type, movie. It's not. I mean, there's nothing flashy about it at all.
And the cool thing too is Edward Norton was he put all of his money from Red Dragon Red Dragon into this movie too to help get it made.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool to see actors like really into a project where they put their own money into it. Same thing with like anyone, directors putting their own money into a project they believe in. It's definitely awesome.
Yeah. It's Edward Norton's a good actor. It's just over the years, I think you don't see too much of him anymore. I think he got himself a bad name in Hollywood as being kind of a jerk in Hollywood. So
I did like him in Birdman.
Yeah, he's in Birdman. He played a jerk in that too. So he probably let's call this typical jerk guy, and he'll play a good jerk in this movie. So
I did take down the notes. I wanted to give a shout out to Terry Blanchard, which is the composer of this film, because the music in this movie is great. It's just it's definitely a movie you can kind of throw on too, like just like the sounds and like the music in it is it's good stuff.
Yeah. No, it's an overall good movie. Lower budget film. Not too many people know about it, but it's definitely worth a watch. I don't. any person I've talked to who's seen 25th Hour, really enjoyed it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just, if you're into movies with good acting, it's definitely something to check out.
Oh, for sure. And so I think that kind of wraps it up for this episode. Definitely check this movie out. I think it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, and it's fortunately it's not readily available.
Yeah, I don't think it's on any of the streaming.
Yeah. I know you can watch it, rent it on iTunes or
Yeah,
purchase it
definitely
on iTunes.
on iTunes. Definitely look into that.
I don't even think it's released on Blu-ray. I think it's still just a DVD type.
Probably get it for real cheap online.
Yeah.
So it's probably just as cheap to buy it than it is to rent it almost.
Yeah.
But anyways, so look forward to next Thursday for a new film being talked about. We don't have it picked out quite yet, but look forward to that, and I hope you enjoy this episode. lurkbsmitty.com, and like this video and share it at youtube.com/bsmitty, and take it easy.